So, Jason, about the pendulum, I was thinking about the 1 hertz, like the peak. So I don't know, just a thought that came up that maybe we like scan many frequencies, and then there's like a positive feedback when it starts to move, and then maybe we stay there. I don't know, just. I don't know.
So the game we are playing, you are not reacting now. We are connecting to comments, and then you can write down, you can have a comment. We are breaking the pattern.
I'm just relating to the issue with the music instruments, because like we can see today that movement is very complex phenomena, and it's very relational. It depends on my relationship with the instrument, with the dancer, with the person that I'm talking about. And I was thinking, I just want to mention a quote by Imgar Bartniev. She was a physical therapist and a student by Rudolf Laban, and she talked about inner connectivity, which is very important for outer expressivity. When we talk about performance, like music performance or dance performance, it's about the performer who relates to the audience. But before we are in self-other relationship, it's very important to be in kind of self-to-self relationship, like inner core distal connectivity, stability, mobility theme. So I just,
it goes very well. Thank you.
You can listen and then later you'll have time to comment. Other comment, reaction, yes.
Yeah, thank you all. I was wondering about the instrument playing. So we see that moving slowly is hard, but as you're moving the bow, it's kind of being dampened by the system as a whole, and you get some stability from the instrument. So when you play very slowly, do you actually notice that your fingers actually also move slowly, or do they still move relatively fast?
Depends.
You're not allowed to respond.
Regarding the therapy that you are presenting, I mean, I'm sure, I mean, you have of course, your inspirations are variable from all of the worlds of martial arts and maybe other Alexander technique and other things. I think that's beautiful. But do you have any results, any proof of the real benefit? I mean, if you take a young person and you prevent him falling fast and strong and heavy and with an impact, I can understand. But in adults, in which their falls are unpredictable and they have cognitive problems, they have orthopedic problems, their body is not as, of course, as flexible as young people. I mean, do you have really any proof of benefit that they really, they fall less, they fracture less, they hurt themselves less, etc., and all of these things that you want to believe that they are happening? Has it ever been proven?
Later. It's interesting to practice non-reactive.
Thank you all. I would like to relate to the pendulum of Jason, and I've noticed when I sit with my legs crossed, then there is some involuntary movement of the leg, and I wonder if, and it's pretty hard to control it. So I wonder if you have anything to say about it. And another comment, it's related to the talk of Alexander. It was a bit surprising that you don't get better at standing still, but if you have anything interesting to say about it, because I would expect that, okay, if we practice, we get better. So, okay.
Two more people maybe who haven't heard so far yet.
So my question is also for Jason. I would like to know how much this this oscillation during the posture control affects the pendulum. If it's possible to avoid this to affect the data by asking people to stand as possible, or even to try to measure the pendulum during just a quiet position.
So, following your question. So, following your question, what you've presented is mostly anticipatory postural adjustments, and most falls happen reactively. So, do you have any compensatory postural adjustments in your plan?
Let's now give the speaker just a round of answering, synthesizing. Doesn't have to answer everything. They can just have some answer or a few answer, 2 minutes for each, and then we have a final round.
Okay, which is good because I don't remember half the questions. So, but starting from the Laura's question, what you said about them discovering that frequency and then emphasizing, this is what Chevreul said back in the 1830s. So I'm not sure how to test it. It's an interesting question how you do an experiment to test it. It's whether people have a physics model in their mind or whether they just find it by chance and then they do it. But the other people do, I mean, they do have some, the people who don't succeed also have some movements. And even that example I showed you, it did start oscillating a little bit, the pendulum, and then they stopped. So it might, there's also lots of psychological issues about involved there. In terms of the leg going back and forth, so my guess is that your leg is going back and forth at something close to the resonant frequency of your leg, and there may be some other part of the body movement that's causing it to start moving. I mean, it's things like with a swing also has a resonant frequency. It's also a pendulum, and there's some, you need very, very small movements to start the swing going. The same with the pendulum, very, very small movements. So maybe some other part of your body that's oscillating at exactly that right frequency to get it going. That's my guess.
Actually, I was talking about some kind of mindful movement, like
of your leg, yeah.
Of really when I relax my leg.
Mm-hmm. Right, but yeah, but when you cross your leg, so then you're supporting it here as opposed to if your whole leg. Then so you'll have a different frequency, and when also you're resting on there, your muscles, you have some sort of contraction and stuff going on there, which will affect the speed of that.
Let's keep the dialogue for later, and we need to wrap up. So maybe Ido, just any comment or.
I have many students. Till today, I've taught hundreds and hundreds of people. I have almost. Yeah, מתאמנים, כן. Students in English, מתאמנים בעברית. And I have many people who come back to me and said, I've almost fell, and you taught me how not to fall, and I didn't. And people who have fallen, for example, my father has fallen 6 times in the last 8 years, nothing happened to him. My mom twice, nothing happened to her. And I have many, many people who are coming to me and tell me, I was falling. There are 2 cases. One, they are saying, at the instance of the fall, time stopped, and I practiced what you said. And the other, which is more common, we didn't think anything, and we just performed as you taught. And one thing about relaxation, I have more than a few that came only for 1 lesson. And in this lesson, all I tell them, when you fall, you just need to relax. And then people, only after 1 lesson, only the change in the mind gave them the big change of keeping their independence. And I have one of the students is here. You can talk with her later.
Let's hear
that was a great remark. My teacher would always say that we as musicians, first of all, you need to touch the audience. How do you do it? You have to become an actor. You have to be very conscious about what your body does, how it looks, how it presents itself. And so everything I was talking about earlier and everything that Hadar was telling, how many different things go into playing, they all come together to present a show, for better or for worse. But there is a way of capturing the audience that I absolutely agree with you. And that is also very much connected to capturing yourself first. You have to believe yourself in order for other people to start believing in you too. So if you want to add any.
I just want to add, like, when I talked about how I practice, is the when we played, you see that we're not practicing anymore because everything is inside our body, and then when we present is already kind of automatic pilot, so that we can experience now the music and so sort of tell our story through the music. This is why each performance is different, because we feel different each day, and then we present what is already there. The technique is in the body, everything we practice for a long time, and when we go on stage, then we leave the music and present the story.
It's a good feeling that we have a lot of questions and reactions that we're not satisfied. So we'll have time for discussion over lunch, over the activity. We have small group work. We have Vice President of the university that honor us to say a few words. Jason, you want to present too?
Yeah, sure. So I just want to invite Milet, Vice President of International Affairs. This grant was together with Robert was supported by the school. Want to say something?
Yeah, I'm deeply conscious of the fact that I'm standing between you and lunch, so I'll be very, very quick. I just wanted to use this opportunity to welcome you all and to say that indeed this workshop is part of a larger collaboration that we've been building together with Rutgers University, who's becoming an important partner of ours in North America. I have to say, I was on the committee that looked at all the proposals that we received, and this one stood out for its originality and multidisciplinarity, and we're very excited to be part of the discussion that you're having here. I've only spent about the last 15 or 20 minutes listening, but absolutely wonderful ideas and energy, and I just want to welcome you all. Are you Professor Van den Wel? Yeah. Okay, so a special welcome to you.
Special thank you to you.
Yes, it's really our pleasure to have you here, and I hope this continues in many, many different directions. Thank you.
Thanks for that.